morning, Lenny ma'am. How are you doing there?
I'm good. Thank you very much. And how are you?
I'm pretty good. Let me first kickstart with how is life in Thailand in regard to the COVID-19 pandemic, and how has it affected you personally and professionally?
Right. I can say that things are getting normal in Thailand but of course, we still have to wear masks and to comply with the health protocols. We only have around 3,500 of total number of people got infected of COVID-19, and even less than 100 people are active cases. The Thai government was able to control the spread of the disease. So we are quite okay here. Our office was closed. We were working from home from March 25, I think, until May 11. So we came back to work on May 11th, so then everything is normal. You can see I don't wear mask whenever I am in office, but when I get out of this office, I wear mask. Well, in terms of personal, of course, there's a lot of change. We need to be very careful now. We need to take care of ourselves. So I increased the number of vitamin support that I am taking every day. I think it's everybody's experiencing. And most of all, I am a Filipino living in Thailand, and so I cannot travel to Philippines. That's, I think, the most impacted thing in my life, that as I will not be able to travel to Philippines because there's no international flight.
This is a new normal, I believe, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, let me start with a personal note. How did you start your journey into credit union movement? Can you walk us through your journey?
Okay. I believe that maybe it's my destiny. I will say that this is my destiny because if ever since I started, let me see, if I may recall, even in my secondary school, I am very fond of working with people. I am a very devoted Catholic, and we have an association in our church. I always volunteer. I volunteer to teach Christianity in the school, and I love to be working with people. So when I finished my college, I was able to work in the credit union, in the cooperative. My first job was in a consumer cooperative, and that's where I came to know about credit union. So you can imagine, at 20 years old, I was starting already to work with the people as my profession. But way back before that, even in the secondary school, I do a lot of volunteering work. So I could say my whole career is about working with people and about cooperatives.
Yes, we can see that. But since childhood or in your early school days, had you thought of working or skipping into this kind of profession?
I never thought that there was no clear on that, but I think it's because I am enjoying working with the people. So when I saw that cooperative is something that I can also fulfill my passion and also improve my career, this is the job that I decided to actually push through. So in fact, when I graduated, my father, in our culture, when you are a graduate of finance, all the time you are thinking you must be employed in a bank or in a multinational company. I am a graduate of finance, but I never came to think about that. Of course, my father would like me to be working in a bank because it looks like prestigious. That's the perception of the people. But my destiny is working for cooperatives and credit unions.
Okay, you've just hinted me about your parents' desire or kind of ambition regarding you. What kind of support did you get from your family in your early days when you started your career?
In fact, I should say that they are not in favor of me. Okay, when I was working in the Philippines, there's no problem to that. But when I moved to Thailand, that was a problem because of course, as a parent, you do not want your children to be away from you. And so every time during the first, I should say, during the first 5 years when I was working in Thailand, every time I visit my parents, my father would always tell me, come back, come back to Philippines. Because, parents are always thinking, like, for example, in the nature of my work, I am always traveling. And my father he already passed away. He was already always very concerned about me traveling. Sometimes I don't tell him that I am traveling alone. And if he knew I was traveling alone, maybe that would really cause a big trouble for me because he wanted me to go home.
Okay, that was the love of the parents towards their children, I
Exactly.
believe. And now let's move towards your journey into ACCU. When did you join ACCU?
I joined in February 1995. So yeah, that was already long time ago, 25 years ago. That was the date when I joined ACCU.
How was the journey in ACCU, I believe? What kind of working environment have you created? What kind of support have you got from the staff and the board? Can you relate to us in that your journey?
I am very fortunate. I do not have any challenge with the board. You need to demonstrate to the board. You are committed, you are honest, you have the passion, and you have a clear intention on where to take this organization. So I am very proud to say there's a lot of support, even though we are working in different cultures. Of course, there are ups and downs, but no, even at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, do you really want to do this? Or you need to put everything, I mean, your heart and your mind into the job that is entrusted to you. So I would say, yes, there are ups and downs, but they are not major challenges that will make me quit the job.
Okay, this is the beauty of a cooperative and especially credit union, I believe.
Mhm.
Okay,
Right.
you're the first CEO of ACCU, female CEO of ACCU also. How does that feel? And what kind of challenges have you faced being a woman?
Well, when I was first, I came to know that I will be succeeding Mr. Ranjit. You know him very well, and
Yes.
most of the people in Asia knows him very well. 4 years before my appointment, he placed a succession plan to the board, and he told me that I am appointing you to be the successor of the CEO position. At the time, I really got scared. I really got scared because I think, to me, I just quietly be working on my table and making sure that ACU is providing services to its members. I was contented on that. I think that was the first challenge. The first challenge to every woman when they are presented with a position, they always have to confront the self-doubts. So what I want to say is that yes, I confronted the self-doubt. I stepped back. Maybe for men, they will say, wow, very good. That's very excited, maybe. But for women, of course, there was an excitement, but there was also a self-doubt, thinking to myself, can I really replace Mr. Ranjit because he is a big shoes to fill in? Yeah, can I really replace him because I know he's very straightforward, very tough, and maybe there is always how do you call thinking, oh, maybe the members will think I will just cry. Yeah, so I think that is the challenge. It's not the challenge about everything that surrounds me, but it's a challenge of myself. So I was able to overcome it, and I'm happy. There was nothing now in my mind with regards to what I thought before 1995 when I got promoted or when I got appointed in this position.
Okay, do you believe financial cooperatives are key to empowering women, especially in the Asia Pacific region?
Yes, I totally believe in that. If you will look at the membership of credit unions across Asia, most of them are women. More than 50% of them are women. The reason why we are financial cooperatives, and what is the relationship with the empowering of women? We call them financial managers of every household. So the reason of that why they are joining the credit union is because they are managing the money of the family, isn't it? Whenever there is a family burden or family financial problem, it's the women who's always get affected. So how the credit union can empower them? Credit unions can empower them financially. How do we empower them financially? By providing them access to affordable services and also to help them or coach them on business. Because right now, most of the women are unemployed. And the reason why they are coming to the credit union, they are thinking that they can get loan and they can use that loan to start a small business. But the credit union not only has to give them credit, but they also need to provide them business coaching so that their human capital will improve. What does it mean by human capital? They need to have knowledge, skills, and network. And that is very important for business. Once the women is financially empowered, women can participate at the board table. Because the reason why we don't have many women at the board table, they will say, how can I volunteer if I have a lot of issues at home? So I think, yes, definitely, I really believe that the credit union has to play a role because I believe when you empower women, you empower the different sectors or the different demographics of our society, their children, their husbands, and other people. So this is critical.
There's no doubt that we need to empower women from all fronts. But let me tell you something about Nepal. You've also heard about that. We still are a patriarchal society where male members control the business. They are the bread earners in this context. And another important area about credit union movement and in the cooperatives is most of the women have not been able to represent in the board and in the senior most management level. They are members of a primary cooperative, but they have not been able to grab that senior most position where they have roles in policy formulation and decision making process. So how can we mold this scenario, and where does ACCU come in this regard?
Yes, that is a very good question. There's no women in the board. I think this is a reality. The reason is I have already explained how can a woman tell, okay, the first thing is that the woman itself has a self-doubt. I experience. Yes. Remember when they are presenting a position, when they know that there is an opportunity to become a board, they will tell, oh, I have a lot of work at home. Isn't it? They will tell, I have a lot of work at home. I have a lot of problem at home. How can I feed my, the first priority was economic. So when you resolve the economic situation of every woman, they are rising above that problem. And now they can see other opportunities where they can involve. So what ACCU is advocating now is that the credit union need to have a business development support, institutionalized in their credit union, so that they can help these women to get knowledge and skills and network in order to ensure that they are creating a sustainable and viable enterprises. When they get that enterprises up and running, the credit union also need to help them to manage their money. When these two things are already in place and women are able to rise above poverty, that's the time women has a time to volunteer in the board. It's very important for them to be equally represented in the board because more than 50% of credit union members are women. So we need to have women lens at the board table. How can you imagine men designing products and services intended for women or for women members when all the men are deciding? How can you ensure that they are really addressing the needs of the majority of members of SACCOs. So I would say, the solution of ACCU is that we need to help women to gain that skill on business. So we need to incorporate institutionalized business development services in all SACCOs. And we need to also institutionalize financial literacy training. I believe it's not only for women, it's for everybody.
Yes, yes.
And we also need to train women, because when you are in the board table, you need to make a difference. It's not just counting the number. It's just say, it's not, we should not be happy, oh, we are good, 50-50 balance, gender balance. But when they are in the board, they need to contribute. They need to create a difference. What does it mean? Everybody who is in the board table should be able to understand the critical issues of credit unions that affecting its growth and sustainability. Yeah, and when they understand that, they should be able to identify what is its impact to the credit unions and how do they respond. So that should be, they should be able to contribute on the discussion, not only second the motion in every decision.
That's a very important point that you highlighted. It's one thing about representing women or gender equity and equality in the representation of the board from one side. The other side of the story is that women themselves have to upskill themselves in order to make a decision, as you said, because you yourself are a role model.
Sorry, I did not get that one, last one.
You yourself are a role model to many women that you yourself have to upskill yourselves in order to meet the criteria that the senior most position demands.
Right. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay,
and yes, go ahead.
You continue. What other programs can we see in the future regarding women empowerment from ACCU?
Okay. What I have mentioned is that we are just starting that program. So I believe that is a total package right now, as of now. What happened with the pandemic is that there's a lot of people, including women. I think most of the affected are the women, is that unemployment or underemployment. They might have jobs, but the income is not enough. So that is underemployment. So that is the reason why we need to put our brains at the National Federation, at NEPSCON, and at the credit union to assist credit unions on responding to the impacts of COVID-19. And that is through the business development services that I have mentioned earlier. And I think I would add on that is that we need to have a network. And as you may see, ACCU is promoting the Global Women Leadership Network, because that is a platform for women, and also not only for the women, but also for the men who is supporting the cause of women. Because it's very important that we have that network to share experience, to build our professional capacities, and as you mentioned, we need to improve our skills. Sometimes it's just simply how you're able to express yourself is very important, to convey what you want and not to be shy and not to be embarrassed. So sometimes it's only the basic ones. So the Global Women's Leadership Network, and with the promotion of the local chapter, which is the sister society, maybe you have seen that in Nepal, is a platform where we can bring our issues and discuss the things like you are discussing now.
Basically, it's about not only about developing saving habit among women, but about developing entrepreneurship also.
Yes,
linking saving
exactly.
with the entrepreneurship will result in something very positive.
Yes, that is right, because employment opportunities is very scarce now. So we need to create self-employment. And if you would notice, even many countries now, even in Thailand, the government of Thailand is providing, recovery package, and the recovery package is geared towards entrepreneurship. because that is where how we can promote the recovery of the economy. It's the engine of economic recovery.
What message do you have to NEPSCUN and other women leaders and members of Nepalese credit union movement in order to empower, develop entrepreneurship? Any message, special message to NEPSCUN and to the women members of the cooperative and credit union?
Yeah, my message is that I think we need to get out of our box. Sometimes we are very traditional. We are saying that, oh, it's COVID-19, it's lockdown, there's no opportunity for business. I think we need to go out of that box. And because there is no way, this is really, I am not saying that this is 100% the solution, but I think in the short term, in the medium term, we really need to trust ourselves that we can find opportunities, we can find silver lining in every challenge that we are facing now. So we need to get out of the box. We need to be focused. I know that there's a lot of webinar happening. Not only I saw that, you know, credit unions are involving in webinars, but I think the webinar should be really focused on the recovery of the members. We might be thinking that, you know, it's okay to look at the recovery of the institution, but institution cannot recover, not unless the members are recovering. Do you get my point? Because we need to have a member-focused response. Because if we do not have a member-focused response, whatever you do in your institution, it will not work. Because it's only the members. It's the members who are the foundation of every credit union, the foundation of NEPSCUN as well, and also the foundation of ACCU.
So that means we need to put members ahead of everything else.
Exactly. It should be a member response. Individual member response should be the response in order for us to recover for the impacts of this pandemic.
Okay, anything you'd like to add before we bid goodbye?
Oh, yeah. Well, I just want to thank, probably I have said a lot of things already, but I would like to thank the Asian Credit Union movement and of course, Nepal, the SACO movement of Nepal. Whenever I come to Nepal, I can see the respect, the trust, how do I say, you know, they adore me. I can feel that one, and I can feel the love of the Nepalese people to me. And, you know, that is something that I am very proud of. Sometimes I thought I really miss coming to Nepal. Not only sometimes, but many times. We should have been there during these days. So I would like to encourage them to be thinking positive. And whenever, you know, just think that ACCU is here. ACCU is always thinking of you, and everything that we are doing now is related to the recovery of the credit union movement in Asia. So, and good luck to all of you. I hope that everybody is safe and you are taking care of your SACOs, because when you take care of your SACOs, you also take care of your members.
Thank you very much for your valuable time, and we hope to catch you later. Have a good time.
Thank you very, very much. It's my honor to be part of this.
Namaste.
Namaste.